Shalom, Saint Jediael with Saints of Israel. All right. And this topic is going to be regarding Will Smith and Chris Rock, what occurred between them at the Oscars. Um, I'm sure you've seen it already. I mean, it's all over the news. Um, Chris Rock made a harmless joke regarding Will Smith's wife's Jada's, what do you call her, buzz cut, right? He compared her to G.I. Jane. He said, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. And Will Smith, yes, he was laughing at first, but then he walked up on stage and slapped Chris Rock. All right. And honestly, it wasn't called for. It wasn't called for. And it really sets a bad example for other black males out there, for black men, and yeah, for black males altogether, because the black youth see that too. The black male teenagers and children see that too. The black boys, black teenagers, black adolescent men, all right, they see that too, all right. So, I mean, it really does set a bad example. And Will Smith is 53 years old. These are older men we're talking about. These are men in their 50s, Will Smith and Chris Rock. And of course, Chris Rock wasn't the one who did the assaulting, but it was Will Smith. Okay, Will Smith being 53, he should know better, okay? As being someone who's been in Hollywood for quite some time, and he is mainly known for positive roles like King Richard, I Am Legend. Let's see, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Independence Day, a whole bunch of positive roles he's played in, and now he put a black guy on his own image for that action, okay, acting out of his emotions, okay, but we're supposed to be an example, okay, as so-called black men, because we are the Israelites, all right, we're supposed to set an example for our nation, all right. Gonna go to the book, gonna go over some scriptures, okay, this is not gonna be long. Okay, gonna go to the book of Judith. This is in the Apocrypha, right? This is the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Okay, we're supposed to be an example. This is the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend on us. All right, remember, other black people depend on us. Other blacks and Latinos depend on us. You understand that? So we have to be that example. We have to be a righteous example to our people. Okay? What Will Smith did was just perpetuate the negative stereotype about us. Okay? About us being violent. About us not being able to control our emotions. Okay? All right? I'm going to read it again. Judith chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend on us. And the sanctuary, and the house, and the altar rest upon us. Okay, so we're supposed to be a godly example to our people. Okay, we're supposed to show an example, all right? A godly example, not a negative example like Will Smith did, all right? Now, him being 53 years old, and being in Hollywood for a long time and having all that money, he should know better. He should know better. But Job chapter 32, verse 9, makes it clear. And this is what happened during the Oscars was an example of this. There's the book of Job, chapter 32, verse 9. Great men are not always wise. Because Will Smith, in the eyes of the world, he's a great man, He's a well-known actor, former rapper, still raps on occasions, but Will Smith is a big name, okay? So he's a great man when it comes to Hollywood, all right? But it reads here in Job chapter 32, verse 9, great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment. Will Smith is an aged man. He's 53 years old, okay? He's an aged man, but he doesn't understand judgment. He doesn't understand that there's a judgment for going ahead and putting your hands on one of your brothers, all right? This is how we're to conduct ourselves among our own people. Okay. We're going to go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Right? Because Chris Rock, he didn't say anything nasty. He didn't say anything derogatory, But he goes up there and slaps him. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Okay, so and going up and just slapping somebody, that's a sign of hatred. Okay, that's a sign of hatred. All right. And thing is, Will Smith had to be forced to apologize. If Will Smith really had the love of God in his heart, he would have been like, you know what, I overreacted. He would. I mean, it would have taken a day later for him to apologize. It would have been like, it would have been momentary for him just to apologize for that. You know what? I got in my emotions. Sorry, Chris. I got to my feelings. Okay. Sorry for doing that, brother. If he really had the love of God in him. But it shows you Will Smith does not have the love of God in him. All right. I'm going to read it again. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Now, who is our brother and our neighbor? Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Okay? Chris Rock and Will Smith belong to the same nation. They belong to the nation of Israel. Okay? We're the Israelites. Okay? All right? But what Will Smith did was avenge his wife's pride and ego, right? And he bore a grudge against Chris Rock over a joke. Over a joke that wasn't even vulgar. You know? Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. So Will Smith broke this commandment by doing that. All right? All right, that shows you that, Will Smith has a problem controlling his emotions, okay? But that's an example of how not to be. All right? Okay. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. All right. There's a book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. So Will Smith getting into his emotions, okay, giving into his anger, right? So and that was quick. That was momentary. And he was momentary to go ahead and slap Chris Rock, but he wasn't. It wasn't momentary for him to apologize. It took a quick time. It took a quick time for him to go up and slap Chris Rock, but he was slow to apologize about it. All right. And he dealt foolishly by slapping Chris Rock. Okay. And says, and a man of wicked devices is hated. So the people who once had Will Smith's back, those people that looked up to Will Smith, ain't gonna look up to Will Smith no more. There are people out there that are gonna want to cancel him now. Okay? Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. All right? One more scripture. All right? Gonna go to First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse. Timothy. Okay. First Timothy chapter 5, verse 22. Lay hands subtly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sins. Okay? So Will Smith should not have done that. He should not have suddenly just walked up and smacked Chris Rock. He should have just been like, hey, if he was really offended by it, if he was genuinely, to handle it maturely, during the commercial break, Will Smith could be like, hey, Chris, yo, I really like the way, you joked about my wife. He could have just went ahead and did that. And I'm sure Chris Rock would have apologized for it. You know? As grown men, that's the way to handle it. You can pull him aside and say, hey, bro, I didn't appreciate that. That's all Will Smith had to do. But he had to go up there, act on his anger, act on his emotions, and smack his brother and assault his brother. Okay? Being a partaker of Jada Pinkett's sins. Okay? Because it was her who egged Will Smith on to do it. But at the same time, Will Smith should know how to be the man. Okay? And know how to conduct himself as a 53-year-old man. All right? I'm going to read it again. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 22. Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sins. Keep thyself pure. All right? So now Will Smith's image is tainted now because of that. All right? Anyway, St. Jediael ben Israel. All right? Be blessed in the Most High and Christ the Black Messiah.